Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to week 2 of this month of peace, sponsored by the Sacred Joy Garden and taught by your chief gardener, Kenda Mouse. And hopefully you have watched week 1. If you have not, please make sure that you do, because it gives the foundation for some of the things that we're going to be doing. So this week we're going to be talking about peace as spiritual power. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? Mm-mm-mm. Now, before we get into the lessons, I'm going to remind you that we're going to go through 4 portals this month and every month and align them with the astrological tides, the mood, forecasting, and themed rituals. Um, the main thing is that we're learning and evolving. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm giving you tools to activate your own magic, right? So one of the things to support you in doing that is, number one, review your cosmic alchemy report on Sunday. That's a good day to start your week. Just look at it, have an idea about what the energies are offering you as it pertains to your birth chart. Check in with the WhatsApp group daily. This is your garden too. And watering it with your energy, your presence, just makes it grow even further. Share your wins, ask a question, or whatever. That's what I created it for. And participate fully. I'm creating a space for all types of people that are on a spiritual journey. I don't care what you practice, other than unless it's something really off the beaten path, like dark or whatever. But other than that, you are welcome, because I'm going to be pulling from all different disciplines, because I believe that every system that Source, God, the divine mind has offered to humanity through various paths, through various people, are beneficial. It supports love and maturity and spiritual evolution. Okay? So, this month, make sure that you as well you practice the rituals. I have included some personal ones, personalized monthly report, and I'm offering them as well weekly, generally, for us to partake in. Make sure that you do them, because it's not so much about the items as it is about who you are. You are the magic. You are the tool, the temple, however you want to do it. You want to think about it. The nuts that I suggest, the stones, are things that you utilize to amplify or activate or maximize the power that's already in you. The power is not in the tool, the power is in you. Okay? And respect this container. Honor one another. Hold sacred space. Everyone may not be where you are, which may be advanced or you're evolving and learning. Respect one another as you would want to have been honored and witnessed on your journey. Okay? So make sure that you are partaking on the sacred foods for this season. If you want a list of those, it is in class 1. Remember, they are edible talismans. Okay? Also, too, there's other tools that I've offered, like certain incense and stones. Um, and again, we don't just work with feelings and thoughts, but that, like I said, it's about you, but the tools are to amplify, to remember, to do those things, right? So make sure that you're gathering those items and you're partaking in the food options as well. So I also hope that you understand that April, like we're all as a collective, are going through a transition. There are a lot of planets. All the planets are direct. So hopefully, people are feeling a fresh breath of, okay, I can move forward, even if you're not actually physically moving as quickly or as swiftly as you may like. Know that the energy is still behind you. Neptune is going into Aries for a very long time. Neptune has been in Pisces for, I think, about 15 years. I'll share in the WhatsApp with more data on that. So if you are not a member of the Sacred Joy Garden, contact me. and get in there because we're going to continue to have more deeper conversations as a group. But Neptune and Aries is really about what you have studied. You're ready to take action on it in a very bold way. And being bold can be different things for different people. Neptune has been in Pisces for about, like I said, 15 years, and now it's in Aries. So basically, think of this as you've been studying, you've been investigating different types of practices, or you have deepened your faith in one form or another, in however you did that. So now, as we move into Neptune in Aries, it's now taking what we have learned, we have experienced, and owning it as a part of who we are and moving forward. Some of us may have spent this time studying things and we realize that it doesn't quite fit. All of that is a part of this energy of bold, new ways of feeling and experiencing life, right? Okay. So I gave the 42 laws of Ma'at as a guide or a compass for us to really work on the theme of peace this month. Ma'at is about abundance and all these things, but if you read these 42 laws, their center, their foundation is about peace. Once we're at peace, we can expand, but we'll talk about that as we get into it. So make sure that you are reviewing the 42 laws. Um, Preferably when you first rise at between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., which are very powerful hours for visioning and seeing, because you haven't hopefully been affected by your day. It's very simple to do. You're going to read the 42 laws at least one time and choose one law at the start of the week, or you can change it up every day. And recite that chosen law 3 times upon rising, and let it rise from your lips like sacred singing, because this is how you calibrate your day for harmony and high alignment. Because our voices, our vocal cords, are spiritual attunement tools for our bodies and for the environment that we occupy wherever we are. Okay, so make sure that you're doing that. I know it's been really helping me to stay grounded with these shifting energies. But now let's talk about peace as spiritual power. Okay, so I'm a nerd. So I started off by looking at the definition. I like to work with the mind and then work our way out. So the definition of peace per the Oxford Dictionary is that, first of all, peace is a noun. And the basic definitions are freedom from disturbance, tranquility, a state or period in which there is no war or a war has ended. The archaic use of the word peace is it was used and can be used as a command, i.e., peace, be still. And that's from the Bible, the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39. So I want you to think about what is the definition of a noun. When you think about it, what is a noun to you? What did you learn in school? Have you forgotten? I know that for me, I remember that a noun is a person, it's a place, or a person, place, or thing. And when I think about those things, they're quote unquote tangible things, right? Right? Okay. Stick with me, y'all. So then I dug a little deeper, and per again Oxford Dictionary, the noun makes up the largest class of words in most languages, including English. So a noun is a word that refers to a thing, like a book, a person, an animal, a place, a quality. A quality. I want you to just settle on that. Now, I don't know how old you are. Person, place, or thing was what I was told classified as a noun. But it seems as though they're expanding it to a quality. softness. An idea. So a noun is an idea or an action. So peace can be a book, a person, an animal, a place, a quality, an idea, or an action, because peace is a noun. So these are all different ways that we can experience. So I want you to really ponder this upon what I just said. Break the spell that peace is elusive. That's number one. It is something that can be experienced tangibly, but we first must calibrate it and understand it within ourselves. So peace can materialize in a tangible or physical way, but it resides in the stillness of balance. When we have it, when we can see it, we can speak it, we can touch it, we can experience it. It is not passive, it is strong and fortified. The more it is assessed with ease, right? So the thing about peace is about balance. Light, dark, there's peace in the middle, right? So I wanted to use this example. A lot of times people always talk about what is the sun just went away, which would be a horrible thing. We know everyone likes the sunny day, right? I know I love it. But what if the sun stayed out all day with all this bright light? Would we have peace? Recognizing the opportunities in all things, whether perceived as light or dark, leads to clarity and fortuna major. So when we're talking about peace, and we're also adding in the element of ma'at, as we are observing this as spring continues to open up, we realize that there's a need for the appreciation of light and dark because we can get clear. Just imagine if the sun stayed out all day, all the time, we would have extreme temperatures. We would lose the magnetic field on this planet. Now, this is based on science, of course. We might go flying away or be stuck to the ground with all the light. Do you understand where I'm going with this? It also would disrupt our rhythms, our sleeping patterns, weather patterns would change, and just impact our lives. So peace comes in knowing that there will be sunny days as well as rainy days. But sun and rain do not have to be um, opposing. They can be complementary. And that's where peace resides. Okay? So I'm going to give you different aspects of peace as spiritual power as we move towards this energy that we are embarking on of the new era, of the new being. But what I'm about to share in terms of peace is timeless, no matter what time of year it is, no matter where you are. So the first one, peace is presence, not the absence of noise. And again, I use some scriptures from the Bible. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46, verse 10. That's Old Testament. Then we move to the New. Peace, be still. Mark chapter 4, verse 36. And what I love about the Mark verse is that it talks about, and you can look and read if you're not familiar with the parable, but it's basically that Jesus and the disciples were on a boat and they started running into rough water. Things started moving around and everyone became scared. No judgment, but they became afraid. And Jesus arose from his sleep. And of course, they're talking to him like, how could you sleep with all this craziness happening around us? What is going on? And he got up and was like, peace, be still. And the storm honored it. It was a command. I just want you to sit on that. Because stillness is not stagnation. Stillness is where power crystallizes. Sometimes we have to learn to pause. Because when we stop reacting and pause, we enter the now and step into co-creation. And this is a lesson that I'm still perfecting to when I feel overwhelmed. You feel much pause. At that moment, you have stopped time. And you are in the beautiful now. Take a breath, pause. You're not in the past, even what happened 2 seconds ago. You're not in the future yet. When you pause, you give yourself the opportunity to stop time and decide how you're going to create continually after that pause. Because peace happens when our nervous system becomes a sanctuary and not a battlefield. The pause. Pausing puts us in the now. And this corresponds with the law of divine oneness that reminds us that peace links us to source. It's the gateway frequency where resistance dissolves and alignment is remembered. Pause, when you take a minute and pause, you have time travel and cemented yourself in the now. Remember that. Number 2, peace is a portal, not a pause. See what I did there? Now, if you're with the group, you understand that a lot of what we're doing this month, I'm using Ma'at as the foundation because in Kemetic wisdom, Ma'at, she represents truth, justice, harmony, and balance. And peace is the state where we are aligned with cosmic law. When our hearts are light and our words are true, peace becomes a cosmic passport that opens doors to cosmic reciprocity that no manipulation ever could. I'm going to say that again. Peace becomes a cosmic passport that opens doors to cosmic reciprocity that no manipulation ever could. So being at peace opens up our energy and ourselves and our consciousness to travel beyond the 3D experiences that we're having, that we may have felt that we had to manipulate or organize or create some situations to get what we want. So basically, living in alignment with Ma'at does not just bring peace, it invites expansion. It actually creates more room for what we say that we want because peace magnetizes the right relationships, the right timing, and the right outcome. And right is not dictated by other people, it's you. Okay, so the spiritual power key for this is peace is the frequency that allows divine order to move on our behalf. Anything we force outside of peace will need force to maintain. I'm going to say that again for my ego. Anything we force outside of peace will need force to maintain. Number 3, peace is fire in disguise. Peace is often mistaken for softness. It's a quality. But spiritually, peace isn't letting things slide. It's knowing you don't have to fight when you're already aligned. Woo! Don't that feel good? Peace is a confidence that screams louder than chaos without raising its voice. Come on now, preach. In Taoism, Wu teaches the principle of non-forceful action, the art of doing without doing. Something I need to get in my soul. Moving without struggle. It's rooted in trust that the aligned path is the powerful path. It's rooted in trust that the aligned path is the powerful path. That is true peace. The metaphysical mirror that I want you to gaze at is when your energy is at peace, you stop resisting your good. The universe doesn't have to knock. It flows in because there's room. Number 4, peace is the space God uses to work. Sometimes the most sacred thing we can do is clear the table. I say amen, and so it is. Peace is spiritual spaciousness. A life uncluttered by obligation, self-betrayal, or energetic movement. It's the vibration that allows guidance, clarity, and manifestation to drop in without distortion. That's that ethical selfishness coming in there. This aligns with the law of vibration. We attract not what we want, but what we are in resonance with. And peace is the frequency that calls in our highest assignment. Spiritual reminder for this is if you want divine downloads, expansion, and next level assignments, peace is the room you build so they can land. You remember the saying, if you build it, they will come? Building begins with peace. Peace is alignment with your higher self. And this picture I absolutely love because it's mind, body, and soul. Like alignment. Peace is what happens when your body, your mind, and your soul are not arguing. It is it's inner consensus. When you choose peace, you're not being passive. You're being prophetic. You're aligning with your deepest knowing and refusing to violate your spirit for temporary comfort. Oh, I'm going to say that again for the people in the back and the ego. You're aligning with your deepest knowing and refusing to violate your spirit for temporary comfort. Now, this goes back to Ma'at. This is a reminder. The feather is not just a symbol of death judgment. It is a measure. Is your heart light today? Or are you carrying what was never yours to hold? So the lesson in motion is when your choices protect your peace, you're saying yes to your legacy, not just your moment. Come on now. Okay. Number 6, peace is the precursor to prosperity. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. The kingdom is not a location, it's a frequency. And that frequency is peace. When peace is our foundation, our energy becomes more open for abundance to flow. Not just financially, but in ways that feed the mind and the spirit. Reflecting on this metaphysically, the universe expands whatever exists in our dominant frequency. So what is your dominant frequency? Is it rushness, fidgetiness? Peace becomes a magnet for clarity, support, divine timing, and creative breakthrough. Our energy is inviting to miracles when we are about peace. You see how beautiful this woman is? She's at peace, and the universe and her higher self are just gifting her. Yes. Peace protects the temple. If your body is a temple, then peace is the gatekeeper. Or if your heart is an altar, then peace is the flame. And again, a flame can be fire, but it can be steady. It can be comforting. Okay? In Akom, Yoruba, and other ancestral traditions, peace is the first offering. You don't open sacred spaces or rituals in conflict. You cleanse, you align, you still yourself because the spirits recognize vibration over value. The energetic law. Spiritual power is not sustainable without peace. The power you generate in a frenzy costs us more than it gives. The power you generate in peace multiplies without depletion. Okay? And our final one, number 8. Peace is the platform of your expansion. We cannot expand from pressure. We can only expand with permission. So granted, we know that pressure makes diamonds, right? But it's breaking it down. When we talk about peace and expansion, we can expand by allowing ourselves and giving ourselves the permission to expand. And the foundation of that is when we find peace. Peace is a spiritual condition that gives us that permission. Why? Because when we ground out, when we have these big visions, these big dreams, and these things that we want to do, and we're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I have all these downloads. How am I going to do it all? We start having fear. But peace, again, gives us permission. And in the way that it does this is, peace says, I can hold more. When we're at peace, we start feeling more room. Peace says, I can hold more love, more truth, more abundance, more divine instruction. Peace is not the end goal. Peace is the starting ground. It is the sacred spaciousness where our future has room to become now. I want you to think about that for a minute. Peace is not the end goal. It's the starting ground. It's the being energy. It's an aspect of joy. It is the sacred spaciousness where our future has room to become now. Okay? Now, how to apply this based on this week's astrology, which I know you've been waiting for. But you need to make sure that you're looking at 8 principles of peace as spiritual power, okay? So this week, peace as a superpower. The element of this week is water with fire beneath. And the theme is spaciousness is sovereignty, okay? And once we can experience that, we have more power. So this is the sacred transmission. This week does not ask you to fight for peace. It invites you to make space for it. Not through defense, not through walls, but by clearing the inner room where your soul has been whispering. I need more light, I need less noise, and I need to just be. This is not about setting boundaries with others. This is about expanding your life so that peace no longer has to squeeze in between exhaustion and obligation. As Mercury moves direct, which it is now direct in Pisces, but it's going to enter Aries very soon. But for right now, it's direct in Pisces, and Venus is also in Pisces, and Saturn is also in Pisces. Pisces is the sign of fluidness and intuitiveness, healing, the deeper things of life, right? Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and many astrologers deem Pisces as like the one that carries all the lessons that the other 11 signs have learned. And by the time that the energetic gets to Pisces, it's like the quantum knowledge, if you will. So with these planets all direct, all in Pisces, it's the divine opportunity for your life to arrange itself in a higher calling, in a higher frequency, if you let it. And as the full moon in Libra rises, she blesses your ability to stand in loving truth and not performative harmony. Like creating harmony by playing a role. Showing up, yes, show up in your truth and your power and your gifts, but are you doing it to perform in spite of? And it's not the difference, and I'm differing this from not showing up out of fear, but that's not what I'm talking about. You still need to work through that, but you know what I'm talking about. You got to be there, you got to do that because you got to perform to make everybody else at peace, so you can keep harmony by showing up in a way that may not be. But this full moon in Libra is rising on Sunday, April 13th. And this moon is going to bless us again to stand in loving truth and not performative harmony. And you see how beautiful she is. And this is considered the pink full moon. And I'm going to drop some information in the WhatsApp group about this moon a little bit more. But the main thing is the sign of Libra. When we think about Libra, Libra is the scale, it's balance, it's an air element. It's also about symmetry, aesthetics. And you can apply these principles to yourself in the way that you need to, based on this moon, no matter what sign you are. So I'm going to give you a general overview of this energy. So Mercury is direct in Pisces, so we should be experiencing more cosmic clarity. That soul's voice is returning. It's not loud, so you're like, "Hey, I'm back, y'all," but it's more like, it's clear. As Mercury rises from the dream world of Pisces, and it's going to offer more thoughts, more words with wisdom. So you're not really thinking about, you're not in confusion about what you know or how you should say it. You should become, everyone as collective should be becoming more clear and ready to share and speak without apology. Continue reflecting on the 42 laws and choose one as your compass. It's going to really help you. Venus is conjunct in Pisces with Saturn. And this sacred merging of pleasure, which is represented by Venus, and Saturn, Father Time, time is in the realm of Pisces, is asking you to redesign your life with grace as a blueprint. So, what have you learned over time? What are certain things that you need to incorporate as a discipline, as a part of your life, to invite and encourage and enjoy more pleasure? This is what Venus and Saturn are coming together to help you with, along with some other things that are happening. Because we're having just a lot this weekend. The planet leading up to this full moon is really about healing any outdated stories that we're still holding on to. Not that anyone is holding us to that, to these ideologies, but we're still very married to it. So what have you learned, and how does that support the aesthetic that you want to showcase in your life, to experience in your life, and to be pleasure? So these are some different options that help you to really tap into this. So where in my day can I soften the pace? This is again the wonderful combination of Saturn with the discipline and Venus being honored for having pleasure. Next question. What would it mean to schedule joy? Where can you let beauty be a requirement and not a reward? So it's time to make sure that you get your nails done, that you make sure that you get your hair done. Whatever that joy is, it could be taking a walk. That's exercise and it's joy. Not because you got to do it because you're trying to lose weight, but you actually enjoy it. Visiting friends and family, or just being. Buying that new piece of artwork, changing the curtain, those types of things. Creating space is not a luxury, it's the new form of leadership. Creating space is not a luxury, it's the new form of leadership. Leadership of self. I might have to put that on a t-shirt. Okay? Now, we also have the Sun conjunct Chiron in Aries, and this is on Saturday, April the 12th. And again, Chiron represents the wounded healer, and it is an Aries. For as a generalization, Aries is a fire sign. It is the initiator. It's the I am. So a lot of the wounds that we may be working on or may be asked to confront deals with our identity and how we feel that we show up in the world. Now, if you got your monthly personalized forecast, you've been given some indicators of where you may need to do this work, right? But we all know where we may still be carrying these wounds. But what I want you to understand is this is your peace activation point. You are not your wounds. wisdom that blooms from them. So this is your fire baptism of self-honor. It's not about getting over it anymore, but to finally breathe beyond it. Now you can take that however you want. If you want to discuss it or go further, contact me and we'll run and really dive deep into your chart. Also, with this Chiron, it's like Aries, which is again, like I said, the fire energy. It's the I am, it's the me. Aries fire clears the brush. It makes space for peace to root itself into your body, your choices, your daily rhythm. Use this energy of who I am, and this is who I am. I'm breathing because I know who I am. I know what happened. I'm ready to be who I know I am based on the wisdom that I have gathered. So use this energy to burn away old wounds that are taking up space. Check your individual reports again for specific guidance based on your chart. But I think intuitively, many of you probably already thinking of something that you know you need to breathe beyond. Okay? So since we're talking about space, what it means to create space versus setting boundaries. And I know a lot of people love to say setting boundaries, and I'm not saying that you have to take that off the table. Yes, in certain circumstances, you do have to set boundaries. But that is like um, when a child, you put up uh, the fences or the borders so that the children can't harm themselves. You put up things to keep bad things out. But at a certain point, we want to gain strength where we don't need those things. It's just an energetic force field or a frequency where certain people, places, and things know not to cross or they stay on the fringes. So space says, I trust my frequency to do the filtering. Space feels like air around the heart, not armor. Okay? Space invites the divine and buffers noise of the world. Space is how you honor your time, your truth, and your tenderness all at once. So I want you to contemplate those things as we continue to move through this weekend and through the rest of the month and carry it on as a part of your new understanding of this beautiful goddess that you are and as you are choosing to evolve into. Okay? The full moon in Libra. So the full moon in Libra, and again, it's a lot of information about it that I can't put in this. And again, if you are a cosmic alchemist in the Sacred Joy Garden, then you have your own report that shares how this full moon in Libra may affect you. And you also have a ritual to do for yourself that is designed. Some of the rituals are very similar. There's different things that I'm asking people to do. But here is a bath if you want to add to it, or for anyone that's just listening, this is something that you can incorporate. So what we're doing is releasing performance, which is a lot of we gotta perform to have peace. No. This Libra moon is not about people pleasing. She wants true balance, not performance. Okay? Let this moon cleanse the parts of you that settle for solace, just to keep the peace. Let this moon cleanse the parts of you that settled for silence, just to keep the peace. So here is a list of the items. I try to keep them very simple. I like for people to be able to get items easily. If you do not have all of these things on the list, innovate. innovate. Because again, you are the true magic. But I would suggest getting as much of these as you can. You get a yellow candle if you don't have yellow. If you got white, use white. Tea light is fine. The only thing that I will say is I would not suggest using black personally. If you about that life and you already know how to do that, then go for it. I myself, with this energy, I would suggest yellow. Now, if in your personalized report I gave you a certain color because I don't remember them all, then you can utilize that. But if this is general, use a yellow candle or white. Honest stars smell amazing. Honest seeds, if you can't find them, find the stars are fine. Both of these things can be found in most supermarkets. You do not have to go online to Amazon unless you want to, or go to a botanica. One of the places that I like to buy mine are at the Latin markets. They're usually like $2 or $3 a bag, sometimes less. Okay? Get you a yellow sunflower or a yellow rose. Now, this is optional. If you cannot get the flower or whatever, it's fine. But if you can, get a flower. Get a yellow sunflower or a yellow rose. I think everyone should make a habit of getting themselves flowers. It just makes you feel better. You know, your man wants your man to flowers, blah, blah, blah. Just come for yourself first. And then I'm going to give a curated playlist to listen to while you are setting up the atmosphere and taking your bath, to really calibrate the magic that you are creating. So make sure that you utilize the playlist and some of these items. So basically, I want you to begin the playlist as you light the candle and light the charcoal with your herbs. Make sure to pour a little bit of that almond oil on the charcoal to let that aroma rise. If you don't have almond oil, do not worry about it. Use whatever oil, something scented. Okay? As you prepare your bath, I want you to bless it. I want you to speak over the water and say, "This water is sacred. I am sacred." And read the 42 laws over it. Okay? You are a magician. As you begin to soak, continue listening to the playlist as you eat one almond at a time and take sips from wine. Okay? I want you to take the almond and I want you to chew it. Don't just take your time and chew it and sip a little bit of your white wine or sparkling cider. And I want you to think about all the things that you are grateful for, all of them. Now, if intrusive thoughts arise, simply say, "Peace, be still." You don't have to yell it and be aggressive. Peace, be still. And revert back to your thinking. I want you to also alchemize it and seal it by smelling the yellow flowers. Again, if you don't have the flower, just say, "Peace, be still." It's a command. Okay? Once the playlist finishes or spirit says it's time to get out, pat dry. Don't rub dry, but just pat dry. Leave a little bit of the moisture on your body and rub the almond oil or your favorite oil on your body. So if the playlist is still playing when you feel like I want you to listen to the full playlist. It's a method to what I'm sharing with you. And part of the thing is following it through, okay? To the best of your ability. Navigate the remainder of your day gently. Keep your journal or voice recorder close. That could be your phone. Note any optimistic ideas that come forth. Make sure to write down any dreams that come through in the next 3 days and share or support Sacred Joy Garden WhatsApp. So when you get out of the tub and you finish, you have calibrated your energy by saying what you were grateful for. That's the foundation for the bigger things, for the things that you are wanting to call in. And you will receive, download prophetic dreams. This is the season for it, or confirmation. Make sure that you write them down. And I want you to share them in the Sacred Joy Garden WhatsApp group so I can support you and your fellow bloom. Okay? We're almost done. So these are the final alchemy tips for the week. Take it home. A little cinnamon tea, add that in. Green grapes, ginger, avocado all support internal peace and divine digestion of old emotions. Wear some white or soft blue, which is also connected to Ma'at. It's the whiteness of purity and peace and the soft blue of the sky. The sky is the limit. Let this color combination remind your body what serenity feels like. Sound magic. Bells, bowls, or your own voice to clear space before you begin any task. Shring, shring is an excellent chant. Okay? Remember, your voice is an instrument. You can do a mini space ritual as well, at least once for the next 3 days. You got the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Schedule an hour with nothing planned. Make that your holy hour and watch what spirit does. This is after the bath. Make sure that you take this bath in whatever variation that you can do it, take it. And dedicate an hour to do nothing. And this is going to be a task for me because my mind is always running, but I'm going to take an hour. Even if you have to, quote unquote, take a nap or take a walk. But nothing is planned. Nothing. You're not actively doing anything but maybe listening to some meditation music, reclining, taking a walk, at least for an hour, or just sitting in stillness and see what happens. Because if you do this fast, you do the rituals that are shared, you're going to get the information that you need. I promise you. So this is a closing lesson. Serpent wisdom and dove spirit. And again, the theme for this week is peace is spiritual power. And so I love this scripture. I'll send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And this is just pure alchemy, right? So I want you to look at key elements. Is like an incantation. It's like calling attention. Behold, attention! I send you forth as sheep. Send you forward as sheep. Not sheep, but as sheep. You're going to appear as sheep in the midst of wolves. Remember the scripture, in this world but not of it? That's the same thing. I'm in the world but not of it. Be ye therefore. So I'm sending you out. But I am telling you that even though you are in the midst of wolves, even though you have the appearance of a sheep, you are to be wise as serpents. And a serpent has been demonized and called so many different things. But the serpent, and we're also in the year of the snake. One of the wisdoms of a serpent is the shedding of old skin. I'm just going to leave that right there. And harmless as dove. And doves are a symbol of peace. So, it's right there. It's right there for you. This scripture's alchemy message echoes across spiritual traditions, ancient mystery schools, and esoteric teachings. So, no matter how, I can break this scripture down and this meaning down where it correlates to different faiths and sacred texts, but this would have been super duper long. It's already long. But in essence, it's the marriage of what? Discernment and compassion. Snake, dove. Discernment, snake, compassion, dove. Strategy and stillness, power and peace. A divine balance we also see reflected in Ma'at. Okay, do you get it? Do you see it? I hope you do. So this is my closing message. Serpent wisdom and dove spirit. That's what you need. This is not a call to hide. It's a divine formula for sacred impact. To be wise as the serpent is to move with these three things. Discernment, timing, and quiet mastery. To be harmless as the dove is to hold space as your posture. not passivity. Let me say that again. To be harmless as a dove is to hold peace as your posture, but it's not passivity. Together, they form the alchemy of Ma'at, truth and action, power and stillness and justice and grace, which equals to expansion and abundance in whatever form that you see that in. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this class. Make sure that you comment and let me know what stuck out for you. If you have questions, make sure you contact me. I love what I do and it's only going to get better. And if you want to know more information about getting your own Cosmic Alchemy report every week, hit me up. We are evolving together. Have a great